the Loop podcast, a podcast that is inspired by the Western culture and the rodeo industry. I am your host, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh, professional rodeo athlete, business owner, married to my best friend, full-time cowgirl, and I am blessed to get to do what I love to do each and every day. My goal is to promote this industry and specifically the sport of breakaway roping. On In the Loop podcast, we are bringing you behind-the-scenes stories of what real life looks like every day, from cowgirls, cowboys, industry producers, leaders, trailblazers, you name it, we talk about it. We are sharing stories of this Western culture and the lifestyle that they live daily. Join me as we share these stories of the amazing triumphs, trials, and victories, defining moments that we all have along this journey of the amazing way of life that we live. You are officially in the loop. Let's get to it. Okay, guys, so today we are here with a guest that has been on my show, I feel like a lot, but we're best pals, so she gets to come a lot and hang out with me. Kelsie Domer is here with us today, and we are going to talk about all things Women's Rodeo World Championships. It's coming up big, hot, heavy, one of the, if not the biggest paying women's event of the year. They just really showed up and showed out for women. There's going to be over 800 women come and compete at the Stockyards through May 9th through the 12th through the Cowgirl Gathering and the women's finals. I mean, like, if you're looking for a lady, you need to be at the Stockyards.
That's right. No doubt. I'm excited. I can't wait for May.
So tell us a little bit about, we're going to jump into the women's rodeo and do all that, Kels, but what do you have going on? You know, you're a mom of daughter Oakland, you're a wife, you are a breakaway roper, clinician. You literally wear so many hats. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on in your world.
Yeah, so I was actually just talking to a friend about that today. She was like, what's the day in the life of you look like? And, you know, here lately, we've been going to the winter rodeos, of course, been gone a little bit, but usually of the mornings, I do your normal day-to-day things and run errands and hang out with my little girl. And then in the afternoon, I've got a girl that comes and helps me watch Oakland, and then I can go rope or give lessons or, you know, be outside and do all things roping that way. So that's kind of day in the life of me here lately.
She makes that sound very simplified. It's a lot more intricate than that, but I will take that answer. So your daughter now tell us a little bit about how old she is and some of the cool things that she's got going on in her world.
She's a year and a half. She's wild, which you know that. She wants to get into everything. She wants to help. She likes to get the cattle up. She likes to use the hot shot. So it makes things, you know, obviously way different than they were a year ago even. So, but it's super fun. She likes being outside. She likes being in the arena, likes being around all the animals. So obviously I love that because that's near and dear to my heart as well. So she keeps us on our toes, no doubt.
Sounds like she's really good shoot help too. Like, maybe I need to get her over and, you know, she can load my calves for me, get them ready while her dad's watching her. I mean, no big deal.
Yeah, exactly. She knows how to run the button, whether she's going to watch you not or not, I'm not sure, but she will open the gate some way or another.
And I think that's so much of what I love about this industry is everybody does it just a little bit different, you know, and that's one thing you and I have always talked about. You do things different than everybody else, and that's what I love about you. And you take pride in the way you're going about your roping, being a mom, being a wife, all the things, and what your priorities are. I laugh because I look back at that picture of Oakland this time last year. You guys are holding the $60,000 check, and she is so tiny, even though she's still so tiny.
Right.
I think that's definitely at the point where the world traded Kelsie Domer, Kelsie Chase. They were like, who cares about Kelsie? Now we're focusing on Oakland.
Absolutely.
So you lost the Kelsie Domer is a rank breakaway roper, and now you have gained Oakland's mom. That's all they talk about when you walk in the box.
At least maybe I'm a cool mom. I'll go with that. So maybe she'll make me a cool mom. But yeah, every time I see somebody, where's Oakland? How's Oakland? I'm like, oh, cool. It's nice to see you too.
That's probably me being one of those people. I'm like, oh, hey, Kels, how's Oakland? By the way, you doing okay? So this time last year, you walk away, you show up at the Cowgirl Gathering. You hadn't really been anywhere. You had taken some time to be with your family, be a mom, do all those good things. You show up, you're not qualified for the women's finals. You show up at the Cowgirl Gathering, you rope in the Last Chance Qualifier. You walk away with $60,000. tell me, well, probably a little more than 60,000 because of all the things you won leading up to that. But tell me about that process. Why did you come to the Cowgirl Gathering in the first place? And then tell me about how that process went as you roped your way through and ended up winning the event.
Yeah, so I think I nominated maybe one place because I just needed, one or just a couple points or whatever to be able to go to the Last Chance Qualifier, which last year it was a little different. They had the Cowgirl Gathering and then they had the Last Chance Qualifier. So two separate deals, but the Last Chance Qualifier, obviously I had to go to that to get a chance to get into the big money. And so I went there. I think, did they take two maybe from the average? Because it was based on entries. There wasn't a ton of entries in the Last Chance Qualifier because a lot of people were already qualified, and had their points to go there. And so it was based on an average deal, and I happened to make it through there. So that was awesome. I was pumped to even just get to go the next step. And then had a good first round, and then I actually had a bad second round in the actual, rodeo part of it, but I was lucky enough to come back on that one run. And so then I got to go back, rope again, and then made the final three, and then got to rope for the 60,000. And so my steps to get there was not, just smooth sailing. It's not like I came in number one and just was, at the top every time. I came in at the bottom, did good, and kind of went to the bottom again and worked my way back up. So there's multiple chances there to get to the final day, I guess.
And that's what I love about the women's event at the Women's Rodeo World's Championship Finals is there's different ways to make it in. Like you made it in through the go round, you come back and miss one. Anybody else would be like, oh, well, I'm out, I'm done, no more chances. And that's not the case. And so it really, for me, I love it because it takes out a lot of the draw. It takes out a lot of the factors that we compete against every day. And like you said, gives people more chances to get their foot in the door, even if you don't have a perfect day and you mess up, it's okay. You can still keep roping and go at them. And there's different chances to get your foot in the door. One thing I also love about it is we have our challengers, then we also have the open girls. And at the end, which they say challengers, but anymore, I really don't think there is a breakaway roper. I know there is challenger levels because of the money limits, but yeah, they're younger than us, or
they just haven't been able to go to as many rodeos as we
exactly. And then they show up and kick your butt, and you're like, where have you been? Where did you come from? And why are you here? So I think that that's really cool that they bring us all together in the end, and you can't showcase a pro from a challenger, honestly. And it's like, I don't know. I just love that part of it because it's like we all come together. We're all here for the same purpose. And then we're getting to rope at that kind of money, which tell me a little bit. Okay. So you go through this last chance, you get in there, you get to 60,000. What did that 60,000 do for you and your family?
Oh man, it did so much. I mean, anytime we can win big like this, being in this industry and this lifestyle, obviously, kind of changes your year or changes your life, however you want to look at it. So, helped my summer out because I did go ahead and rodeo last summer. Took Oakland and we took off and rodeoed again. So that was helpful. And, we can always, put it back into our place here too while we're at home. And so there's obviously anybody can use money at any time, but for us, we're always going to put it back into our place. And then if it helps me get down the road to have a chance to make more money and help my family out, then obviously it's a win-win.
Right. So after your win following the 2023, you're breakaway roping champion. What does that look like 2024? Are you going about it the same strategy? Like tell us a little bit about what your strategy was this year going to the women's finals and how you went about it nominating.
Yeah, so this year is different. So last year I went to, the women's finals, and then I went to the WCRA in North Carolina. And at the end, if you're, at the top of the points, they give a bonus now, right? And so I actually got
first through fourth gets a bonus. Yeah. And you're in point champion.
Yeah, second last year and won 10,000, I think. And so I was like, I had no idea. I was like naive to the fact, and I only figured it out when I was in North Carolina. So I was like, this is awesome, right? Martha was first, I was second, and so I was like, man, this is awesome. So after that, I have nominated more this year because I've been kind of, looking at the points through all of it. Obviously this just isn't with the all girls, but I'm nominating toward the all girl too. But that's kind of been my goal, maybe to stay in the top of that and hopefully get paid, in the bonus again at the end of the year. So I have nominated quite a bit more this year. Haven't just gone completely crazy, but compared to last year, it's definitely a lot more. But, nominated these winter rodeos because usually, well, obviously we get to rope more than one, but hopefully, you get to the semifinals and stuff like that and get a chance at more than just 2 or 3 in your set. So been kind of trying to do that and put my focus on that and give myself a little better chance, I guess, when we get there.
Right. And that's what interests me is hearing everybody's strategy on how they nominate, because
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot that goes into it. World champion Martha Angeloni too. If you really want to know strategy on nominating, call Martha. She's got
Yeah,
it
for
down
sure.
to a T.
For
And
sure.
one of the things I will just throw out there too is there's nomination codes that we all use
Mm-hmm.
to save 10% or 5%. I think it's a 10% save, which doesn't, you think, oh, $5-10 every time isn't that much money, but it does. It adds up and it is a lot of money. And so that's one thing that I think is neat. But strategy wise, I think for me, I nominate where, like you said, you're going to get more chances at more
Mm-hmm.
calves. And
Yep.
so I don't nominate just a whole lot of individual rodeos where I'm getting a one header, but
Right.
anytime I go to a jackpot, like we've been at these winter rodeos, we went ahead and nominated those because we got more than one calf.
Yep.
Anytime I have more than one chance, I'm taking my chances and nominating because
Yep.
the points add up. You don't think, 200, 300 points is that big of a deal. And then all of a sudden it adds up. And in the end, you have a better chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at it the same way. I usually, if I'm going to put some eggs in another basket, I want, more than one chance, I guess. And of course, if you nominate the one headers and it's a really big paying rodeo, then you're going to get a lot of points too. And so you always have that side of it. But I'm with you. I try to do the jackpots and the rodeos with more than one head. That way my chances are better, I guess.
So one of the things that I love about the Women's Rodeo World Championships is they have paid out over $3 million to
Mm-hmm.
professional women. And I know that that is something that you and I, and call it our age, we won't age ourselves here, but call it our age. It's very important to us as professional women in rodeo
Mm-hmm.
to have that chance to be seen on that playing field. Talk a little bit about what that means to you, just to know that you have an association standing behind you, giving you this kind of support and giving you the chance to make this a career and keep it going.
And it's awesome. I'm gonna try to support this association as much as I can, for as long as I rope. I started in when they first started the WCRA deals, was, a part of it and a huge fan and tried to support them. And then now we actually have our own, all girl rodeo. And so why not? Why I don't see any kind of negative to try not to put your name in the hat for that and that kind of money. And it's not just breakaway roping. We have team ropers and barrel racers too. And this year I'm actually going to be a team roper again. So
There we go.
yeah,
That's what I was
knocking
just
dust
about to
off my
ask
heel
you.
rope. So I'm gonna try that because shoot, I was telling a friend yesterday, it's like, man, if they're gonna give me a chance at 60,000, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Even though we don't get to team rope as much as we used to, and we're more just breakaway ropers anymore. Shoot, I'm gonna rope the dummy and practice up and try my hand at it too.
Well, and that's another thing, Lindsay and I talked about this, and she gives me a hard time. She just calls me stupid, which, let's just be frank, kinda is a little bit when you get to run at $60,000. But I am gonna get back into it this next coming year. I'm gonna try my hand at it. But they pay 60,000 to the header, 60,000 to the healer. There's a pro, there's a challenger. Women's team roping, women's barrel race, header, healer, break ropers, all the women's events are given equality. They're all
Yep.
paid the same. And so that is huge. It's huge. Like, that is unheard of. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, do you think you'll ever rope at $60,000 to be a, world champion team roping header? No.
Right.
I would have said no. And
And
so that's
two,
so cool.
how much do they pay for the points champion, at the end? They get a big check too. And so there's multiple different opportunities like that. If you want to go nominate a lot and have the most points at the end of the year, then boom, you get that check as well. And then if you happen to win the event, you get a big check too. So just like you said, there's so many different ways to win good money. It's crazy to me that you're not going to give yourself a chance. It happens once a year. So
Yep.
I'm dang sure gonna put it on my list, my goal list, and say, hey, I'm gonna do what I can to try to get back to this place once a year.
And it's a great time to be in Fort Worth at the Stockyards, May 9th through 12th. We're running at the Cowgirl Gathering is first. It's following Corpus Christi. It's going to be some people at Corpus Christi, but then they're also going to be headed north to go to the Cowgirl Gathering, stay there. We have all the events, barrel racing, team roping, breakaway roping there. And then they're going to roll right into the women's finals. And then guess what? We get to rope at AT&T this year in the short round. Again, how cool is that? I mean, that place is like, the atmosphere in there is way cool.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that, to move back in there. They do so much for us. They try hard every year. They're making it bigger and better and putting us on bigger stages. And so it's, like I said, I'm going to support these people as much as I can and stay hooked at it, because they do so much for us. So hopefully we can give back to them and help them out too.
And you got to skip out on we had a WRWC photo shoot.
I know.
And being the official podcast, we got to go and partake in that, which was so neat. It was freezing cold. My hands were very cold, but it was really, really cool. And you got to skip out on it and freeze. But there's some cool TikToks out there we did as a group. If anybody wants to go watch Jackie missing her donuts, that was kind of fun. But that's one thing I love about it too, is like all of us women are getting together and we're really supporting each other. And I think that that's something in our industry we haven't really seen. And now we're getting a chance to do that. I know I have a lot of friends that maybe don't rope most of the year, but are coming to the Cowgirl Gathering, hoping to qualify, get into the women's finals, that I see that maybe don't have the same chances, opportunities, different things in life going on. And they're going to come and rope. And so that's one thing I love about it too, is you see people you haven't seen, you create those relationships. And I don't know, it's a pretty cool event.
It is. It's super cool. They try their best to put us on that big stage and showcase us every chance they get. So I'm pretty proud to have been there last year, and hopefully I'm in the same situation again.
I know, that's what I was just thinking. Like, what is it going to feel like if you walk away with back-to-back $60,000 checks?
Oh gosh, it would be awesome, huh?
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you could bottle up that feeling that you'd have then and could sell it, you'd make a lot of money.
You would be very, very, very wealthy. Yes. So who are you team roping with this year?
So I'll just have to go hopefully through the Last Chance Qualifier. We'll see. I don't necessarily have a partner. I'm going to rope in the BFI, hopefully get some points at the BFI. And then I guess however I get matched up, we'll go from there. But since I haven't been a team roper in the last couple of years, all my normal partners have different partners, which is completely fine. Obviously I wouldn't want them just to wait around on me to get out of retirement. So I don't know. I guess we'll see if I can get some points and get in there and make it work.
And are you borrowing your husband's heel horse again?
Yep. Absolutely.
How does that work? Does he take commission?
No. Yeah, I cook him supper, if that counts.
I think that's great. So after following the women's event, tell us a little bit about North Carolina. I know that was a huge event for you as well. It's not a women's exclusive event, but it's part of the WCRA. What was it like going to North Carolina?
Oh, it was so cool. That place was amazing. We literally did not have to leave. It was like a whole community. Once you got there, you had your RV, you had amazing stalls. They had different places to eat. They had, there was a golf course on the place. There was a spa on the place. We got to watch the hunter jumpers. So once we got there, we never left until the event was over. So it was pretty cool. And hopefully I get to go back.
Yeah, I know. That's exciting. I've never been to the east part of the world, so I'm nominating too, to hopefully get to go to North Carolina and experience all of that and what it's like. And then you plan on rodeoing again with your daughter, Oakland. Talk a little bit about what that takes, and I know the commitment. You have so many people that are helping you, your mom, your aunt down the road, and your husband, all the things, but there still has to be some mental fortitude to say, hey, I'm taking myself and my daughter, and I'm going to go and follow my dream, and I'm going to do this. So what does that take for you to do that?
It takes a lot of help. Like you said, I wouldn't be able to do it without the family help, and going with me down the road. But, it's right now, she enjoys it. She likes traveling, then she gets to get out and play. She, gets to see Creed and Journey, hang out. We'll go, now that she's a little bit older, we're going to get to do some fun things this summer. But right now I'm going to take that opportunity to keep pursuing my goals. When she's older, I want to be helping her pursue hers. And so right now. It's fun. I'm super blessed to be able to do that and to take her on the road, but I'm gonna do that, I guess as long as I can before she gets into her things, and then be behind her and push her for whatever she wants to do.
Yeah. Well, and she is a very, very active, if anybody doesn't know. So I imagine you will be chasing her all over the world.
Get some new
So yeah.
tennis shoes for the summer.
Yeah, we gonna get some really good Nikes this summer. Be chasing her.
That's for sure.
Well, good. Well, Kels, thank you so much for coming to the show today. Congratulations on your 2023 win. Good luck in 2024 at the Women's Rodeo World Championship Finals.
Yes.
If there was a piece of advice you could give to anybody that's listening today that are like on the fence about coming to the Cowgirl Gathering or entering the women's finals, starting to get their foot wet, get in there and nominate some, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to ask questions about it. All the time people are like, "Well, I don't know how to do it, so I haven't done it." I mean, we didn't either, and everybody's got to start somewhere. So don't be afraid to ask. The WCRA has a ton of people that you can call, and they have great info, and they will help you out, with the nominating or what all you have to do to be able to get qualified and all that. Because I hear a lot. It's like, well, I don't really know how to do it. It's confusing to me. Great, it was confusing to me at one time too, and so don't be scared of that, or don't run away from that. Just don't go help, or go get some help, and ask questions. And if it's something you really want to do, I mean, heck yeah, I don't see anything negative to it. And just like that, if you only have a few points, or are not in the top 20 or whatever, then try to go through the last chance qualifier and give yourself that opportunity. If you can only put so much money towards getting points and you don't think you can catch up, there's other routes. And
Yeah.
so definitely figure out what works for you and go for it.
Yeah, I love that advice. And I know too that Sammy Joe is so sick of me calling her and everybody at the WCRA. Like, I mean, it's a daily thing. It's like, hey, good morning. By the way, here's a question. And
Yep.
so that is the best thing to do, is to ask, because we don't always have the answers, and that's okay, but they do. And if they don't, one thing I love, there's been several times they're like, not sure, let me find out. Let me get that
Yep,
answer. And then they'll
absolutely.
get back to you. So I think that's really cool and speaks volumes for the association.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I've always had a lot of help from them, whether, any kinds of questions, because we've had a lot throughout the years. So they will definitely, like you said, if they don't know it, they're going to figure it out, and they're going to help the best way that they can.
Yep. Perfect. Well, Kels, thanks for coming today. Good luck, and we'll see you
Yeah.
down the road.
See you, pal.